Wake up. Stop participating now. Anger is not action. Fighting everything is not action. Reaction keeps the cycle running. Exhaustion keeps women distracted. Division keeps women busy. Busy women do not move. They stay inside the same patterns while believing they are resisting. This is the moment to see it clearly. Her purpose is a right to life. Her goals are the foundation of her wholeness. We are abandoning them at an alarming rate, then accepting that abandonment as normal, calling it realistic, calling it life, calling it just a season. Meanwhile, the days keep disappearing. If we do not choose action, nothing changes. If we do not lead ourselves, something else will lead us. If we stay asleep, the system keeps taking. Action is a decision. Action is repeated. Action is how women take their lives back. This is a call to wake up and move. Invisible labor is one of the main ways participation stays hidden. Women call it normal, then pay with their time, their body, their purpose, and we're starting there. I'm Raquel. This is the Actioned Woman podcast. If you're listening while doing something for someone else, that's already the point. Invisible labor doesn't wait until you're finished. It follows you. It sits beside you. It lives in the background of your mind while trying to live your life. This episode isn't a motivational speech. It's a wake-up call that's meant to feel practical and slightly uncomfortable in the best way. The goal is simple. See what's draining you. Stop feeding it and put that energy back where it belongs. A woman can love her family, love her people, carry responsibility, hold a heavy season, and still protect her purpose. Those things can exist in the same life. A lot of women were never taught how to do that, so they keep running themselves into the ground and calling it devotion. So let's talk about invisible labor, the way it actually works. Then we'll talk about the places women leak time and energy without ever noticing it. Expectation is one of the biggest. It keeps women locked, it keeps women buried, and it keeps women waiting. We're going straight into that today. Invisible labor isn't only what you do, it's what you are choosing to carry. It's the mental management that runs behind the scenes, planning, tracking, anticipating, remembering, arranging, soothing, preparing, and preventing. It's knowing what's needed before anyone asks. It's being the one who notices the details that make life function. A lot of women are not tired from work. They're tired from being on call. The body can sit down and the mind stays standing. The day ends and the mind keeps tallying. The night comes and the mind is still arranging tomorrow. It shows up in small things that don't look like labor until you're the one doing them. Remembering school theme days and permission forms, tracking everyone's appointments and needs, keeping the emotional temperature steady in the house, making sure there's food, supplies, clean clothes, the right gear, managing the social obligations, carrying the same mental list of what's broken, what's missing, what's overdue, what's needed to be handled. Invisible labor is often mistaken for being good at life. A woman becomes the one who can handle it, and everybody quietly adjusts to that. Then the expectation grows. Well, if she handles it once, she can handle it again. If she remembers everything once, she remembers everything always. If she saves the day once, she saves the day forever. That's how invisible labor becomes identity. I'm the one who keeps it together. I'm the one who makes sure everyone is okay. I'm the one who can do it. That identity can feel powerful. It can feel like competence. It can feel like strength. It can still eat you alive. You start feeling irritated for reasons you cannot name. You start feeling snappy and then guilty. You start feeling exhausted, then ashamed. You start feeling like you have no patience left for the people you love. That doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means you're carrying too much unseen weight. Take a moment and name what you've carried today that nobody will notice. Not the visible things, the invisible ones. The decisions, the remembering, the tracking, the smoothing, the managing, the emotional buffering. That load, it has a cost. It's costing your concentration, your creativity. It costs your desire, and it's costing your selfhood. That part that stings is how quietly it happens. A woman doesn't lose herself in one dramatic moment. She gets gradually reassigned. Her energy gets assigned to functioning. Her life gets assigned to maintenance. Her purpose gets assigned to when things calm down. That when becomes a very, very long hallway. Once invisible labor is named, the next layers show up immediately. The standard women try to meet while carrying it. The standard is where a lot of women start bleeding time, not in one big cut, in 1,000 small ones. A home is lived in. Life regenerates mess. Laundry returns, dishes return, needs return. That part is normal. The trap shows up when a woman turns the daily reset into a measure of her worth or a measure of whether she's doing it right. Perfection maintenance is the pressure to keep the environment controlled so nobody questions you, nobody criticizes you, nobody judges you, nobody sees how thin you're stretched. It can sound like if it isn't done now, it won't get done. If I don't do it, it won't be done properly. If I don't keep everything together, everything falls apart. If the house is missing, I'm failing. If the schedule isn't perfect, I'm irresponsible. Perfection maintenance is emotional labor wearing the costume of productivity. It costs more than most women realize until they start looking at what keeps getting postponed. Training, writing, building, healing, quiet, rest, and your goals. Perfection maintenance convinces a woman that her life is something that she earns after she finishes managing everyone else's. The after never arrives. A woman can live 10 years trying to catch up to after, and the whole decade is gone. So the shift isn't stop caring. No. The shift is choosing where your best energy goes. A lived-in house is not a moral problem. A full sink is not a report card. A basket of laundry, it's not a crisis. The day will keep offering you maintenance work. Your purpose will keep waiting for you to protect it. A practical way to think about this is triage. Daily tasks. What truly keeps life stable and safe? Weekly tasks. What can be done in batches? Optional tasks. What can wait without consequences? Perfection tasks. What exists to satisfy an internal standard or avoid judgment? That last category is where women leak their lives. A woman can be responsible and still refuse daily perfection as the rule that consumes her. Now, there's a moment that happens right here, and it's the part that keeps women locked. You hear this, and something in you goes, okay, but you don't get it. And you don't even always say it out loud. It just becomes the stance. I'm doing this alone. No one understands my life. My situation is different. There's no room. That stance feels like protection because it explains the exhaustion and it justifies the overload and it makes sense of why your goals keep getting postponed. But then it becomes dangerous. It turns into a sealed room. A woman starts living like her limitations are the full truth instead of one part of a bigger reality. And I want to add context here because this isn't me talking at you from theory. I've studied women in the trenches as a coach for over 13 years, side by side, all walks of life, different incomes, different family structures, some no family structures, different mental loads, different levels of support. I've watched women who carry a lot still find a way to build, and I've watched women get buried by the exact same weight when they decide there's no way out of the room. The sealed room stance doesn't only say my life is hard, it says my life is hard so nothing applies to me. That's where the ego gets comfortable. The ego loves falling back into comfort, even when the comfort is misery. The ego loves a story that keeps you safe from change. Power looks like something else. Power is saying, I'm going to study women living a life like mine, and I'm going to learn what they're doing in real time. Power is saying, I'm not the only woman carrying this. I'm going to stop acting like I'm alone on an island. That shift changes everything. Proof matters, and patterns matter. Shonda Rhimes is a single mother. She built while carrying a full life with kids, with pressure, with responsibility, with demands that didn't care how tired she was. Arlene Dickinson is a mother too, built while carrying the weight of providing, building, leading, managing, and raising. Those names aren't here to make you feel small. They're here to show something that stays true. Women build in hard realities all the time when they stop letting the day own them. Now, take it closer, because for most women, celebrity examples feel far away. Women around you are doing this in real life. Women whose lives look closer to your limitations, women with kids, women with stress, women with long days, women without perfect support. Women who still protect a pocket of time, still simplify the schedule, still close leaks, still keep promises to themselves. Women are living like this everywhere. The real question is this: is it adding to your life to stay in the sealed room stance, or is it adding to your life to start looking at how to close the leak? A woman can spend years repeating, "No one gets it," and it never builds her life. It only keeps her trapped inside the same pattern with a story that feels true. So instead of using limitation as the final sentence, use it as the starting point for study. Find women with similar realities. Watch what they protect. Watch what they refuse. Watch how they structure their day. Watch where they stop bleeding energy. Watch how they close expectation. Watch how they keep a pocket of time when it would be easier to give it away. That's not comparison. That's strategy. Now let's name the phrases that keep the loop intact, because once you hear them clearly, you start catching yourself in real time. I'm too busy. I have no help. I can't right now. My situation is different. Those phrases can be a description of a season. Those phrases can become a doctrine, a ceiling. Worse, a life sentence. A lot of women aren't lying when they say them. The issue is what happens next. The mind uses those phrases to close the conversation. The body stays in survival mode. The goals get postponed yet again. Then the phrase gets repeated so many times, it starts feeling like identity. I'm the woman who can't. I'm the woman who has no time. I'm the woman whose life is just too heavy. Hard seasons are real. Unequal realities are real. Single parenting is real. Financial stress is real. Grief is real. Pressure is real. Choice still exists inside limitation. Choice isn't always a leap. Choice can be one protected pocket of time. Choice can be one boundary. Choice can be one standard lowered. Choice can be one decision removed. Choice can be one request made clearly with consequences attached. A woman can be in a hard season and still be building. Building doesn't always look like a full schedule. Building can look like a minimum standard you keep no matter what. For example, 10 minutes a day protected for your mind and your body. 2 training sessions a week kept like an appointment. 1 morning a week reserved for your goals. 1 expectation placed down and replaced with a boundary. Small actions sound small. Small actions build identity fast when they're repeated. 5 guarded minutes a day teaches your nervous system, I exist too. Once those phrases are named, the next question becomes practical. What do women who build inside hard lives actually do? What are the patterns? What are the decisions? What are the moves? Women who build inside hard lives stop treating their time like public property. They create structure that doesn't rely on a good mood. They protect a pocket of time the way you protect money when you're stretched. They stop negotiating with guilt every time they choose themselves. A lot of women think the answer is more motivation. Motivation disappears when the day is heavy. Structure stays. Structure is simple things like a protected pocket of time that has a name and a place, a weekly rhythm that doesn't require constant decision making, a minimum standard you keep even when life is messy, a removal list, not just an ad list. Ask yourself this honestly. Where does your best energy go right now? Not where you want it to go, where it actually goes. If your best energy goes to keeping everything running, your life will keep running without you in it. A protected pocket of time changes everything. It doesn't need to be massive. It needs to be honored consistently, even when you feel tired, even when the mood is low, even when someone else wants it. That pocket teaches the household, the people around you, and your own nervous system, this matters. Women like Shonda Rhimes didn't build by waiting for a calm season. Women like Arlene Dickinson didn't build by being less busy. They built by deciding what their time was for, then protecting it like a resource. That pattern is available to women who aren't famous. Your life is allowed to be full. Your life is not allowed to consume you. Now, women try to protect time and they hit a wall, and that it isn't laziness, it's physical depletion. The body goes down first, the nervous system goes down, the brain fog shows up, the patience disappears. So let's talk about the body piece like adults without turning it into another impossible standard. Invisible labor drains the body, then the body starts feeling like a problem. Energy drops, mood drops, everything feels heavy, action feels far, far away, decision-making feels like pushing through mud. Food gets messy when a woman is overloaded. Skipping meals, eating whatever is fastest, running on caffeine, eating from stress, forgetting hydration until your head hurts. This isn't about a perfect meal plan. This is about stabilizing the woman who is trying to lead herself. Food is infrastructure. Hydration is infrastructure. Sleep is infrastructure. A practical starting point, my woman. Pick one anchor meal you can repeat, something steady, something you don't have to negotiate with your mind every day, something that helps your energy stay stable. Then eat something stabilizing before the hardest part of your day, before the morning rush, before the long shift, before the second shift at home. A woman's patience improves when her blood sugar isn't crashing. Her clarity improves when she isn't living on fumes. Her ability to follow through improves when her nervous system isn't constantly braced. Small stability changes create big behavioral changes over time. Stability in the body makes something else visible. Time isn't stolen only by tasks. Time is stolen by leaks, hidden drains. Expectation is one of the biggest drains women carry. It drains time, drains energy, and keeps women stuck in a loop that never pays them back. At some point, working harder stops being impressive and starts being self-erasure. Working wiser protects energy. Energy leaks are the things that drain your time, your attention, your emotional capacity, and nervous system stability without building the life you want. Task leaks show up as constant resetting, doing things earlier than necessary, managing details that don't matter, holding standards that exist mainly to avoid judgment, Thought leaks show up as mental looping, replaying conversations, reliving unfairness, building arguments in your head, running scenarios, trying to solve people who refuse to be solved. People leaks show up as one-way dynamics, constant access, emotional labor offered to people who do not reciprocate, relationships that cost more than they give. Identity leaks show up as worth tied to exhaustion, the belief that you're only valuable when you're needed, the belief that rest has to be earned, the belief that you must carry everything to be good. Now expectation. Expectation is one of the most expensive habits women carry. It hides inside the word should. This system should treat me fairly. My ex should react differently. They should understand. They should care. They should show up. They should stop. They should finally get it. Expectation sounds reasonable. It can sound intelligent. It can sound like standards. Expectation still becomes a time stealer. It turns the mind into a constant drafting room. You draft the conversation you'll never have. You draft the explanation that won't land. You draft the text you won't send. You draft the argument. You draft the closing statement. You draft the version of reality where they act how they should. Then you wake up the next day and reality is unchanged and your energy is lower. Expectation keeps a woman in negotiation with what is. It drains time through rumination. It drains energy through monitoring. It drains momentum through waiting for something external to become different. A woman can be right and still be trapped in expectation. A woman can be justified and still be buried. Expectation keeps women attached to an ex long after the relationship ended. The attachment isn't always love. A lot of the time, it's anticipation, hoping for the right reaction, hoping for accountability, hoping for the apology, hoping they finally see it. That posture can eat years. Expectation shows up with systems too, and convinces women that if they explain themselves better, behave better, endure better, perform better, that fairness will arrive. Years can pass inside that posture. Bring it back to one question that cuts clean. And I want you to really take this in. What is the cost of me expecting this to be different? That question exposes the drain. Expectation costs sleep. Expectation costs appetite, costs clarity. Expectation costs presence, and it costs your next move. Action begins in one of two places. A direct request backed by a consequence, release backed by a boundary. Endless hoping keeps a woman buried. So do this in a grounded way. Write the expectations draining you right now, the real ones. What you expect the system to give you, what you expect an ex to become, what you expect your family to understand, what you expect your partner to notice, what you expect yourself to carry without breaking. Spill them into two columns. Column 1, I can influence this. Column 2, I cannot control this. Everything in column 2 becomes a decision. Release it and reclaim your energy. Release doesn't mean the pain is fake. Release means you stop paying with your attention. Release means you stop reopening the wound to check if it healed. Then choose one concrete move, one boundary, one consequence, one change in access, one change in routine, one protected pocket of time for your life, my woman. Expectation keeps women in reaction. Action pulls women into leadership. One expectation is named. The next structure becomes obvious. The household schedule, kids' lives, family rhythms. A lot of women are collapsing under a family structure that leaves the mother with no oxygen. A lot of homes normalize kids being in 3, 4, sometimes more activities at once, while the mother has no consistent time for her health, training goals, recovery, or even quiet. This isn't anti-kids. This isn't anti-activities. This is pro-mother being alive. Kids can have beautiful lives without a schedule that crushes the woman holding the household together. A depleted mother isn't a badge. It's a risk. Look at the structure with maturity. What is essential? What can rotate seasonally? What can be reduced? What can be simplified? A family can choose a rhythm that supports everyone, not a rhythm that consumes one woman. Kids need to see a mother who keeps herself alive. That modeling matters. It teaches children what adulthood looks like. It teaches them women are not meant to disappear so everyone else can thrive. Structure at home leads straight into the next question. Who else has access to you? A lot of women lose time through people, through constant access, through being available by default. That's where community and boundaries come in. Community matters. Support matters. Access matters too. A woman can be kind and still be selective. A woman can be loving and still have limits. Emotional labor given everywhere becomes emotional bankruptcy. Small pockets of reciprocal community strengthen a woman. Wide access drains her completely. A practical way to see it is to look at your relationships in circles. Inner circle. People who restore you, respect your time, keep their word, show up and reciprocate. Middle circle. People you care about with limits and boundaries. Outer circle. People who do not get full access to your energy, your time, your inner life. A lot of women let outer circle people live in the inner circle. A lot of women let one-way dynamics sit at the center of their lives, then wonder why they feel drained. So ask yourself, who restores you? Who respects your time? Who keeps their word? Who asks how you are and stays long enough to hear the answer? Who only shows up when they need something? A woman can love people and still change the level of access they have to her. That shift protects energy, protects focus, protects your purpose. So we've moved through the invisible load, the endless reset, the sealed room stance of no one gets it. The patterns women use to build anyway, the body foundation, the leaks, expectation, family structure, and access. The ending needs to land an action you can take into tomorrow morning without turning your life into another impossible project. Pick one practice for the next 7 days. One. Choose one task that doesn't get done immediately and use that time for your goal. Choose one standard you lower so your goals have room to breathe. Choose one protected pocket of time, even if it's small, and keep it for your goals. Choose one expectation you place down, then back it with the boundary for your goals. Choose one energy leak you close by changing access, routine, or responsibility. A week of one practice changes a woman more than a year of thinking about it. Invisible labor stays powerful when it stays unnamed and unquestioned. Naming it changes the relationship. Seeing the leaks changes the structure. Action changes the entire outcome. Stop living like your purpose is optional. Stop handing your best energy to what never ends. Rise up, my woman, and take your life back in repeated action. I'm Raquel. This is the Action Woman Podcast.